All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look here at the graphing worksheet. And before we jump into all this, I want to give you a quick little Cliff Notes cheat sheet. So we have essentially just really three different drawings of the graphs here. This can either be your drawing of your Phillips curve or your money market graph. Over here you have your ADAS graph or loan funds or foreign exchange, and then here you have your production possibilities curve, is all what they look at here. If we remember, aggregate demand is equal to four different sectors in the economy: consumer or household spending, government spending, business spending, and foreign spending. Aggregate demand is really nothing more than spending. There is a direct relationship. If spending goes up, then demand goes up. It causes aggregate demand to go up. If there's more spending, there'll be a higher demand of money. There'll be a higher demand of normal funds. And if foreigners are buying our goods, if they're demanding our dollar, to buy our goods and services, then the demand of the dollar goes up from foreign spending. So if spending goes up, demand goes up. That's it. That's all you need to know. So you have half of the graph down. For the supply sides, I've boiled it down to this for you here, guys. Aggregate supply is inversely related to the cost of production. If it costs more to make something, you're going to make less of it. It should seem logical. Whether there's increase of government regulations or business taxes, higher labor costs or higher resource costs, whatever it is, aggregate supply is inverse to cost of production. Supply of money is moved through monetary policy. We remember monetary policy is just what the Federal Reserve can do if they want to grow the money supply. Buy bonds, lower the discount rate, lower the reserve requirement. If they want contractionary or tight money, it will be sell up. Remember, stop is tight, stop tight. So sell bonds, up the discount rate, up the reserve requirement. That's going to lead to tight money. Supply of normal funds is literally just extra money in the economy. It's extra money that can be held by your households, your governments, businesses, or foreigners. So it's just extra money in the economy here. Extra money. So if there is extra money, you would see an increase in the supply of normal funds. If you'd see the Federal Reserve increasing monetary policy, supply of money goes up. Right? That's it. If there's more spending in the economy, like we said, demand of money is just spending. If there's more spending, demand would go up. Demand of money would go up. Demand of funds goes up. It really just kind of boils down to that. The supply of our dollar in the foreign exchange market is only when we want to buy foreign stuff. In order to buy, French bread, like genuine French bread from France, or French cheeses, you'd have to supply your dollars and then demand the euro to buy their goods and services. If the Europeans want to buy our apple pies, they would have to supply their euros and then demand our dollars to buy our goods and services. All right, so that's your quick cheat sheet on the movements of the graphs. Let's take a look at it. So the way this will work, so number one is right here, number two right there, three, so on and so on. So ADS graph at equilibrium, real obvious. Equilibrium is just the intersection here when AS and AD meet at our potential output. Potential output is the LRAS. In a recession means that our current level of output has not quite reached our potential level here. Inflation is when our current level of output is beyond our potential level. Sorry about that. As we move on, the ADS graph at equilibrium. Okay, so we're here at equilibrium, and now we're going to have a shift, a decrease in government spending. Remember, spending is aggregate demand. Spending directly related here. So if spending goes down, aggregate demand goes down. You see that negative shift, that downward shift. That's how you would write these things out. If you're having difficulty, I'm not trying to do this for you guys to say, you're right, you're wrong, or whatever. I mean, I have no problem giving you the answers. I want you to practice this. You'll need to be able to compare your own to these to see if you got it correct. I have my own little notes on here. Just remember, AD is spending, AS reverse cost production. Business taxes are going to be your cost production. When you're dealing with things like oil, if you're in an inflationary period, imports are considered to be a negative. Remember, X of N is exports, which are good, minus the imports, which are bad here. If you change consumption, it's going to lead to aggregate demand. When AD moves on the ADS graph, the dot, D moves the dot, D moves the dot, you're going to see the dot shift in the opposite direction. When AS moves, you get a new SRPC2. S means the SRPC, D moves that dot. Just silly little things here. I have all these here for you. I'll flip over and show you the next one if you want. I'm sure you guys are taking screenshots, which is fine. Demand money is going to be that fiscal policy. It's the spending. It moves that. Whereas monetary policy is going to move that supply of money line on the money market graph here. So expansionary monetary, that buy down, down, grows it. If it was sell up, up, it would shrink the money supply and you'd move in the leftward direction. So all these ones here. Number 25 is a little unique. I could move and you could argue it in a different direction if you wanted to. So that's why I circled that one. Supply of loanable funds here. I didn't label everything out. I didn't label supply, demand, loanable funds, real interest rates. That's because I've done this so many years. I know it in my sleep. You guys need to. You need to write out all these labels. You need to write out the labels. You need to write out the labels because you're going to have to draw this stuff on your own. And going through all these things, remember, when there's a change in savings, if there's a decrease in savings, there's going to be less extra supply. If there's a drop in spending, there's going to be a drop in demand of those loanable funds. With foreign exchange, remember, who can supply the dollar? The U.S. can supply the dollar. Who demands our dollar? Foreigners demand our dollar. If foreigners are buying our stuff, foreigners are buying like our bonds. If foreigners buy our stuff, demand goes up. If foreigners buy less of our stuff, then demand goes down. If the U.S. buys more foreign goods, then we supply more of our dollars. If the U.S. buys less foreign products, we supply less. It really is just that simple. Lastly, we have the production possibilities curve. The curve represents our potential output, just like the LRAS. If we're making less than our potential, we're in that recession. Anywhere on that curve is our equilibrium. We can have, if we have an increase of our capital purchases, we'll be able to make more in the future. And then we can't yet reach that point beyond the curve until we get some more of those resources. All right. That's your walkthrough there of how to complete that all the graphs. Hope you guys learned something.